Mandel here in Israel, and I am here with the envoy of combating anti-Semitism in Israel, Michal, Wunsh. And I want to ask you about the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism, and why is that so important?
So, first of all, it's a very important question because I think that in a post-10/7 world, what we've seen is the accuracy and the urgency to utilize what is the result of a very long democratic process, the definition of anti-Semitism, because in order to be able to identify and combat anything, we first have to define it. And not only is it the result of a very long democratic process, but it's actually being adopted already by more than 40 countries, more than 1,200 entities, and because anti-Semitism mutates like a virus, is shape-shifting over thousands of years, what the IRA, including the 11 examples that it includes, enables to do, is to identify all the strains of what is an ever-mutating virus. It makes the IRA a critical resource to be able to identify and combat anti-Semitism, whether on campuses, whether online, whether in the streets. And in many ways, because it's a working definition, and not legally binding actually, it just enables to do precisely that, to identify this form of what is a lethal hatred that in a post-10/7 reality has proven to be this new strain, mainstream normalized strain of anti-Zionism, or the negation of Israel's very right to exist, even as it defends itself from a genocidal terror proxy alongside other genocidal terror proxies of the Islamic regime in Iran. The state of Israel is the one seated on the dog of the accused. So if you will, IRA enables to identify this strain that is running rampant, that began with the first blood libel of Zionism as racism, the next blood libel of Israel as an apartheid state, and the third and perhaps more pernicious Orwellian blood libel, an inversion of fact and of law, right now in a post-10/7 reality, accusing the state of Israel of being a genocidal state, of perpetrating a Holocaust, even as it defends itself from an openly declared intent to not only commit the 10/7 atrocities, war crimes, and crimes against humanity, but to do so 1,000,000 times in what is a genocidal intent to annihilate the state of Israel and murder Jews, just like in Mein Kampf.
But there's some people who say that, being Jewish, that's a religion. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. How do you respond, especially kids on college campuses?
So, for many people, it's a very important question because it's true that as Jews, we have a religion, but we're not just a religion. We have a culture, and we're not just a culture. And now in the last 76 years, we have a state, but we're not just a state. What Jews are is a people. I often tell people a prototypical indigenous people. Why prototypical? Because we have spoken the same language, Hebrew, and read the same book, the Bible, and traversed the same land, Israel, and practiced the same customs and rituals for thousands of years. And the understanding that Zionist, or Zionism, is anchored deeply in the identity of Jews for thousands of years, who prayed and yearned and longed to return to Zion. That is what it means to be a Zionist, integral to the identity of the majority of Jews around the world and many non-Jews around the world who believe in the right of the state of Israel to exist as the single and only Jewish nation state to which that indigenous people returned after thousands of years of exile and persecution, committed to equality. That's just Israel's Declaration of Independence. So the intersection between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism is very, very clear as it has exposed itself in this post-10/7 response to what was the worst attack of Jews since the Holocaust. And that actually returns to question number one, which is why the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition exclusively and singularly enables us to identify this strain of anti-Semitism that is systematically demonized and delegitimized and applied double standards to the state of Israel, so that instead of being the state of the Jews, it has become the Jew of the states.
So how can people follow you?
So people can easily follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Michal Colter, or Colter Wunsh is my handle. And I think that this is actually a moment of reckoning, not only for all of the spaces and places in which we've seen the tsunami of anti-Semitism in response to the worst attack of Jews since the Holocaust, but actually what we see as an attack that 10/7 was, an attack of barbarism on our shared civilization. And in that sense, it is a war that we're going to have to fight together.
And follow me at Dr. Eric Mandel, and thank you.
Thank you very much.